Welcome to Demon Days, an actual play podcast with a focus on fiends and the friends who play them. Wanted to give a little bit of a disclaimer at the top of the episode that we have some new recording digs and an actual menagerie or just a bunch of birds here.
You can't hear the fish, but they're there.
If you could hear the fish, they'd be screaming.
We also have another kobold.
Multiple kobolds.
We have multiple kobolds, and one kobold has a bell attached to them, so...
Yeah. So just a heads up, there'll be some ambient sound for like locations as you've heard in the edit, but occasionally there'll just be a really inexplicable set of bird sounds that won't match the scene, and that's what those are. So
I like to think it's Yewsiff's just nature aura just spilling out into the recording.
Gross.
And so with that, we will actually get started with our episode.
Friends, fiends, I hope you are ready for a story, because I'm about to bring it. When last we spoke, our heroes completed their super serious rescue attempt and got out of there unscathed. I'm just kidding, of course. Taslin got her knee smashed to bits. To bits! It was awful and painful. And did I mention awful? I mentioned awful. Anyway, we pick up right as our party attempts to skedaddle from the scene. All that and more in these Demon Days.
So previously, on the last episode, a lot happened. Probably the biggest thing was the conclusion to the rescue attempt, the super serious rescue attempt. And a lot of shit happened. The Chromatic Vipers were mostly wiped out. Esvel was rescued. The leader of the Beauteous Few, Aphrodite, the Fair Mother, she panicked or something and set off some explosions and basically blew up the whole HQ, attempting to possibly drown you all and crush you under the rubble, which didn't work almost, because as Taslin made her way out the door, she rolled a continuously horrible, as like a straight trajectory down. It was like really good first roll, bad roll, like it got worse each time, and then finally just did not meet the DC, and some bit of debris smashed against her knee. You know,
it's one of those to where you're doing so great and you can see the end of the tunnel and you just start psyching yourself out.
And then the end of the tunnel disappears.
I'd like to think that's what happened.
Yeah, I was very nervous during those rolls because you were trending down. And I was like, this is not going to change. And sure enough, so I had to come up with something horrible. And that was the first thing I thought of. But anyways, that leaves us to the moment of now as you guys are leaving the area, the immediate area. Everyone's kind of holding each other as you're moving forward. Taslin, you're having, even though you've been healed a little bit, having a little bit of difficulty in walking. Esvel is also having difficulty. So Feder and Yewsiff, you guys are helping them up as you travel to the Nestled Rest. And it's going to take you a few minutes to get there because you guys are going at much slower speed. But you've managed to get out of the vicinity before too many curious folks register your faces. You have a few minutes before you get there of pre-conversation, but it's coming up.
John, I know that I got a ticking clock on this, looking like the Black Viper vibe. So I want to try to, if I can feel that magical essence kind of, if I can feel towards the end of there, I would try to find a spot to switch back into myself inconspicuously.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
You guys can take a quick detour. In fact, there's enough leverage you could just pop out and then pop back in before anyone falls over. It's not too big a deal.
Are the streets full chaos, or is everyone kind of like, this shit happens?
It's not yet. So it's mainly that moment as something big has happened where people are asking themselves, did something just happen? They haven't made the move yet. So you're seeing people come out of buildings as you're passing them by. So they're getting kind of a look at your back third. So they're not getting good glances at you or paying you any mind because you're going away from the stuff. They may say that there were people moving away from the blast when they figure out what's going on. And given that you guys made a good distance before people started coming out, you're in a good place. You're probably going to be forgotten as everyone tries to get really nosy on what happened with the premier spa and bathhouse of Sky Point.
Do I need to start cataloging how many times you hit your mic again?
Nope. It's going to be fine. It's going to be great.
Whack!
For the audience, I made a motion to hit his microphone.
Intrusive thoughts, John. Intrusive thoughts.
Yeah, I got to control those. All right. But anyways, you guys have like a few minutes because he had to stop to change back into something really quick, his old form. And yeah, you're not moving very fast. So there's a chance to talk. Otherwise, you reach the nestled rest without any interruption.
I think that it's all just exchanging glances and trying to get, at some point, I think trying to get everybody to not necessarily look like we're fully fleeing, but like try to make it look a little bit more inconspicuous considering we're headed the wrong direction. You know what I mean? So,
right. And time is on your, time actually was on your side as you guys left. So that's helpful. And you recognize that too. You just left immediately as soon as shit went down.
We're going to Kaiser Sose walk at some point when we realize that we're being, observed, and not like limp and pant our way.
Yeah, there's an attempt to turn the walk into a limp instead of a lurch.
Yeah. But yeah, if anything, Feder would just be like, the nestled rest, yeah. Let's get out of here. Let's get inside. There's a lot to talk about. I think we just head that way.
Okay, cool. You reach it without, again, any issue. It's pretty uneventful. The nestled rest itself was never one to be the very popular or extremely busy. It's just cozy, kind of a cozy amount of people. And you make it in there, and it's not very busy this time of the evening.
John, remind me, is the nestled rest the first place we landed when we got to town?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah, it's where you had the two elves that were, one was really nice and really friendly, super friendly.
Johnny got a contract off of it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, John, do you remember the name? Who's the more embittered one that I put under the signed a contract with the house?
Yeah, Eloy Evanista. She's the more disgruntled, I wasn't supposed to come in today sort of sister. Mm-hmm. And Docile is the nice one. They're both there, randomly cleaning, setting things up, doing chores in this main lobby as you make your way in.
I'll kind of hand. Yewsiff's a beefy boy. I'll hand one of the ladies off to Drew, and kind of go up to Eloy very quickly and just slide 5 gold into her hand, and just say, "We're not here. We were never here." And I'll just give her a good look and kind of flash the signet ring at her, and just food and drink in her room if we could, and no disturbances.
Very well.
Thank you.
She nods. Although you catch this, Feder. She nods, she received the money. She nods, but then kind of gives you kind of a more cautionary head tilt towards Docile. Mm-hmm. Not so much that it might be worth checking in on later.
Sure.
She's signaling you that maybe she's good on it, but maybe it might be not so with Docile. But it's a subtle glance, very quick.
Yeah.
Split second, and then you guys are into your rooms again. And yeah, I think there's 2. I think you had 2 before, so they were largely the same. And
then I'll just off that look. What I'll say is stop at the rooms later, and we'll catch up.
Sounds good. And she gives you a key to each one. So here is this one and this one. These 2 rooms, they're similar to what you had before. And again, the bathhouse section is in the back. The baths are in the back.
I thought we had kind of a retainer for those rooms because a lot of our stuff was still there. We never went to go pick it up.
Then, then she didn't hand you the keys. You still have them. She's like, they're still there. They're still good. Thanks for the reminder.
Yeah,
yes.
I was like, our stuff is still at this this place, even though we were kind of bouncing around.
Sure, it may have been days in podcast, but IRL, I have not had that note for a while. So yes, you guys make your way back to your rooms. You have 2 of them, I believe. But I forget whose room was associated with whom, but it's just room A, room B. They're both almost exactly the same. That slight magical aura to make the place nice. And
I think you two were sharing one, and I think
Yeah.
I have my own.
Yeah.
okay. Do you guys all
I
go
think
into
we'll
one
all,
for now?
I think
or-
everyone piles into our room.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. You pile in, and Esfel falls onto the bed just as soon as she can, just as a place to rest, and even starts curling up a bit, just checking out of the scenario for a bit.
I think theoretically, we'd start the clock on a short rest. I think for all parties involved.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I
Is
think so.
anyone trained in medicine?
No.
I'm not trained, but I do have like some jack of all trades sass and a
Can-
pretty decent wisdom modifier.
Can you set her leg?
Well, I thought you did. Well, no, he put it back into place and splinted it before we left. You pulled it back into place, and I put a splint with 2 daggers in my necktie.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's already done.
Tells
Because
you
you
what I
rolled,
remember.
very high.
Yeah.
I
that's right. That's
apparently
right.
was very Tasslin in that moment
Oh,
because
yeah.
all I remember is the building falling on me and
Yeah.
then us out. So apparently I, as a person, also blocked out.
But no, you rolled it. You rolled a pretty high medicine check and then dumped a
Like
bunch.
30 points,
yeah,
I
a
think,
bunch of
into her.
healing points
Yeah.
into it. So there's at least a start there. So
Okay. Then never mind. Yeah. Short rest. Short rest it up. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe long rest.
I mean, it is around roughly 9-ish.
I know, but we got up so early though. We got up at like 1 p.m.
Oh yeah.
Is
So
it like an 8 hours on, 8 hours off situation? Like,
you can't get extra long rest benefits from sleeping most of the day.
but John, we've got plenty of camp supplies.
That's true. You have like 670 out of like.
Yeah, I grabbed. Did we miss the fact where I grabbed a bunch of random sausage and fish heads when we were in the bathhouse?
Ironically, they were in the fountain.
Daddy.
And they're all very moist.
The moistest.
The hoistest with the moistest.
No, absolutely not. Yes, no.
We have found the
no.
line.
What?
Oh, that's what we do. That's what we do. That's the service we provide.
Right. So,
Little Debbie zebra rolls.
Yewsiff, do you have any? I mean, there's obviously an issue here with our new friend's tongue. Do you have anything more substantial in your repertoire to maybe help her get some of that back? I know you throw some healing on her, but and Taz, how's the leg? How are you? Yeah, okay.
I suppose it's fine.
Off that glance, I'm like, yeah, okay. Wait, okay, not to get all conspiracy theory here, but like, do you think she nuked her entire headquarters for us? That seems crazy. Or do we think someone else did this? I mean, the timing is suspect, but I mean, maybe I'm underestimating our own importance in the grand scheme of all this stuff, but
Well, it would be very Aphrodite-esque to sit there and go, there's this person that has information on me. And I just glance at Esfel. And 3 of my enemies right there. Drop a building. Like, it won't necessarily harm the profit margin all that long.
sure, insurance, blah, blah, blah. Wow, so really, she that's the sort? I mean, I know she's, I mean...
Beauty's only skin deep with this one.
Sure. All right, well. I mean, I got the sense from overhearing some conversation with the Vipers that, like, she and Bonham may not have been on the best terms leading into the opalescent menagerie. So, and I kind of flash a glance at Esfel, who I remember from standing outside their box at the menagerie.
Yeah.
And
She
I'll
had
just-
seemed a little put out that maybe plans had changed.
Sure.
Mhm.
And I'm like, I'll look at her and I'll be like, is this in kind of motion to her tongue because of that? Referring to the menagerie. I'm sorry, just because you don't have a tongue doesn't mean you're an idiot. I apologize.
You find that she's kind of dozed off a little bit. She's curled up and kind of.
All right.
She's lost the world for a little bit, not in a sort of going to die or saving throws way, but more of, I've just been through something really horrible, and now I'm safe. This is probably the safest she's felt in a while. So she's out. She is just dead to the world. In fact, I mean, you may even there's almost an instinctual kind of like escape of breath, maybe in response that you could take with it as you will.
All right, well, we'll deal with that later, I suppose. Well, fuck. What now?
Feder, you remember the journal had
Had buzzed at me.
Did that heating pulsing thing?
Notification
Yes.
popped up.
With your high perception, you would have also noticed that it was like a two-pronged buzz, if you will, in that, you know, when you receive two texts roughly
At the same time.
at the same time, maybe a split second apart, you get like the ping notification, almost like outdoing the other
The
one.
last note I have is so funny because I was like, green journal, buzz, check first. And then we got here and I was like, what other things are going on?
I'm not going to listen to my own damn notes.
Yeah, why would I look at my own notes?
Screw my notes.
I'll say, do you mind I have to take this? No, I don't say that. I'll pull the journal out and I'll be like, oh God, I wonder what this is.
So you read the easier one first, which is from Fee.
Right.
As I sort of, where are you guys? Can I come to you? I'm tired of babysitting. And then the last one you get from good old Tia Mech herself about your special guests, the Fall Hold. She mentions, I think we can come to an arrangement. An arrangement meaning I manage your special guests, and in exchange I get full access. ...
And I'm like, Jesus. So I quickly, it's like when you're trying to text like two people at once.
Yeah.
And I write back to Fee, did you go to Hoos as instructed? Who's giving you more problems, the baby or the old man?
I let my intrusive thoughts win and just ate the mic.
God damn it. Okay, so baby or old man. It takes a minute. You get back both. You sense her patience is over for it, for them at least. But then she adds, I don't like the look, or I don't like the feel of this house. I want to go to you guys.
It's not safe here. Stay put. We'll come to you shortly.
You get a very characteristically crude, frowny face.
Yeah.
Some more rude icons as well.
And I'll say, start thinking about who you know and how you know to get us back up to the castle. Please and thank you. And then I'm like,
it's red.
Yeah, she fucking goddamn it.
Left unread.
And then I'll look at the TMX part, and I was like, and I'll just go straight to bartering.
Okay.
And I'm like,
yeah.
I was like, counter offer. You only. You have to tell me when you're coming. And again, I'm not sharing this with any of the group. Counter offer. You only. I have to know when you're coming. What do they want? What do they want in return? What else do I get? ?
Oh, she just lets you know what the guests want and all that. Keeps you abreast. Is that what you're trying to?
Well, no. So she said that she could come to an arrangement for her dealing with them.
Yes.
Right. But she wants unrestricted access to the Fall Hold.
Right.
Right. So I'm countering that by saying that it's only for her.
The unrestricted access is only for her.
Is only for her.
Gotcha.
And I have to know when she's going.
Okay.
And then I say, what else do I get? And what do the retinue want? And what else do I get? And then I'll say, are you there yet? What else do you want? What else sorry.
That's fine.
So much. I'm like trying to write a contract very quickly via text. So edit. Like the edit button comes up. And I say, are you there yet?
Do we have some sort of like devilish form of Clippy?
Yeah.
Clippy's not around anymore. They upgraded to Adobe, and the whole thing.
It's a tiny, like a tiny method head pops up. Hi there.
My name is Adobe.
You're not good at this. No, I
I
just.
see you're struggling.
Are you there yet? Question mark. Access for you only, and I have to know when you're going. Yeah, so access for you only, and I have to know when you're going. Are you there yet? Question mark. What do they want? Question mark. What else do I get? Question mark.
Gotcha. Okay, now I get it. So she responds after a few minutes of not there yet, working on other things. Then there's a pause. She starts to come up with her counteroffer. Me and my +1.
Noodles.
And these are agreeable. Me and she's probably meaning whoever she has in her retinue of servant.
People.
Yeah.
Her +1.
Her Jojen probably.
Right. So I'm gonna say, I need to know who the +1 is, and you have to let me know when it changes. Send back. Now I'm just playing the fucking game.
Yeah. And now there's a pause, and then she's like, "How about free teleportation, and you never know who it is exactly?"
Free teleportation for the entire gang, plus our +1.
Jesus Christ.
Deal.
And this time you see a very nicely drawn smiley face, a flourishy smiley face.
I don't know why people can't use fucking words anymore.
They're hieroglyphs, Johnny. That's what we've
As I
become.
say, like the oldest 19-year-old in the kingdom. I've already moved on to Snapchat. Tony looks so unhappy that I just did this. Looks so unthrilled that I just did this.
So
The fact that this is all meta knowledge. Is
Oh yeah.
so
I
in
love
accordance,
this is
Lawful
also
evil.
just all written. We don't know any of
Lawful evil.
That's what meta knowledge is, babe.
so Feder, you would know the +1 thing, especially since you could deduce it was Jojen, is that maybe she might not stay with him. She might be bored.
Yeah.
So she doesn't want to be limited by the fact that, like, well,
Yeah, duh. That's
Yeah.
why I'm like, I have to know when you change your mind.
yeah.
Because I'm assuming it's the noodle lad. But also, come on, that's not a long time investment. You know, that might be fun for a minute.
Yeah. So it's to not restrict or have to kind of keep tabs on who the new person is, because you know very well her Jojen might be a different person.
Yeah.
It could just because she could just use the same name. Who knows? It's just how TMAC works. But yeah, a deal has been achieved.
Will they
between
all
the two.
be named Jojen? Like, or are they just?
It's just like they're just Jojen the first and Jojen the second.
This is the 27th iteration. No, it's a good idea though. I'm going to.
Oh yeah.
That is now the title of her concubines.
As I give DMs ideas.
Oh, a giant poison trap that we can't detect. Oh, great idea.
Yeah. Ooh. It misses your passives, you say. Beautiful.
Gang,
Sorry.
here's your TTRPG tip of the day. When you're like, hey, remember that demon we vanquished? How long has it been since they went back to the hells and start regenerating? Just don't say it. Just don't say it. Keep it in your notes. Don't say it out loud to your DM.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
If you're going by old rules, it takes 100 years.
Sure.
That's
Welcome to the
second edition.
now. So yeah,
Alright,
so deal is
so-
achieved. She has access to those limitations, and we will have to write those down when I have a moment so I can remember them. But
Yeah. News on several fronts, he says, kind of sighing heavily and putting the book away. As I feared, Fee is getting bored. So she's at a house with Kiki and Little Thing. Apparently,
and Cheshire.
with Kiki and Little Thing. She knows.
Okay.
Oh, you're gonna fucking throw that at me today, John? Today? Today. Okay.
You come in my house and you throw my backstory at me.
Oh my God.
Dare you, sir?
Oh my God. So here's the thing.
I before you start that though, I just as like a side note, so everyone, including the audience, understands
Yeah.
the last time Taslan legitimately saw her father was when she was like 13. So it's been
Oh boy.
over a decade.
I mean, technically, you've been watching him this whole time, so at least the whole time since you've had that crystal ball. So
There's a difference between watching a relative on an old VHS tape and seeing it in person.
It's more closed circuit TV at this point.
Yeah, I suppose. They've really
Or,
upgraded
I mean,
scrying.
technically, at one point,
Interacted with him.
technically,
yes.
at one point, he was trying to look back.
Mm-hmm.
So, we either need to get them somewhere else. Well, she doesn't like the house anyway, so she wants to come here. That's a terrible idea. So I tried to put her on trying to get us back into the castle, which unfortunately, and I'm like, until we can get that better, and I point at Taslin's leg and get you sauced back up, pointing to Yewsiff, like, I don't think we can do right now. So, that's one thing. Thing two, I've made an arrangement with my aunt Tiamat, such that she is going to go and at least inquire about what our friends at the Fallhold want. Yeah.
Is there a cost incurred with that?
Family business. It's not anything huge or consequential.
Okay, good.
I'll owe her a favor at some point.
Can I use some of my passive insight here to get a feel on whether he's holding
Your passive insight?
stuff back? 18.
I'll roll a fucking PvP fucking deception check.
You know what? I'll do
Yes,
fuck
yes.
it. I'll do an active insight. I don't even
Well, if you're passive-
I'm straight up.
I mean, I asked the question, so I guess I'll roll.
Oh, wow. All right, let's just do it. Let's just roll it.
Well, I am straight up.
Let's say this for Taslin, since this is she is very keen on these things.
I got a 21.
You can choose. I'll let you choose in the nature of...
Yeah, no, we'll do passive.
Do passive?
So
Okay.
18.
Here's the thing, gang. Rolled a 16 on the die.
That's what I rolled, but I only have a +5.
That is, drum roll, please.
42.
23, fucker.
I rolled a 21.
I don't get any insight, like extra bonuses for being like his loose
banging him? No.
girlfriend.
Yes,
No,
because in the
no.
history of relationships, no two couples have ever hit anything from the other person.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, like, there isn't anything that tells me that something might be a little off.
No, if
But,
anything, he just knows how to lie to you easier.
Yeah, sadly. It's family business, man. Listen, it's family business. That
Fine.
shit is
Fine, I will let you keep your secrets.
You just went through the fact that you're like, oh man, seeing my dad, that's gonna be fucked up. Family
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. You're
This
distracted.
is listen. Family stuff is family fucking stuff. And I got like, my family is like 18 people deep, and they all kind of hate
And the
each other.
only ones that I've banged has been you.
I know. Well, so far, yeah.
I mean,
All
Yewsiff.
eyes turn to Yewsiff.
Yewsiff.
Esvel wakes up and looks at Yewsiff. No, just kidding. She's out.
and as that happens, he's like, so to answer your question,
Yes, Tiamat might be around occasionally at the Fallhold. I figured you'd hate that.
so to answer your question, he kind of nods in acknowledgement of that. I don't have the power to do this. We need... It's much more potent magic. We need a cleric or a druid, or even I think a bard could do it, but it is a
High-level enchantment.
It's beyond my power.
Right. Well, great.
We might be able to find. Is there a temple here in town
Do a history check on your travels.
to Eldath specifically?
Then definitely do a history check.
It's not gonna be good because I'm dumb. History.
Hey, you're from around here, right?
History.
He says, looking at Taslin.
+1 plus 10 is 11.
Ugh. You didn't notice anything that would scream Eldath to you
Okay.
or stand out. And the paths you guys have taken have never really been around more religious structures necessarily.
That's fair.
Tony, I love you. I'm so sorry. Great. Listen, there's an infernal route with this, but I don't think that's a path anyone wants to go down.
I don't know what that was.
Me either.
Yeah. New noises, gang. New recording space. New
Excuse me.
noises. Very exciting.
Taz,
Yeah.
do you know, is there a Eldath temple here in town? I don't remember seeing one.
Potentially.
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 Okay. Well,
All right. Well,
I might be able to use some pull to get us healing there. If
I'll figure out how to heal myself. Thanks.
well, not you. No, we were talking about your friend. Well, you as well. Yes, you as well. But also,
I appreciate any help you can give Esvel, but I'm good.
okay. Well,
okay.
if we're gonna regenerate her tongue, then yeah, that's what we need.
Okay. I will at least I'll pull a spare quill out and a couple pieces of parchment out of my stuff, and I will at least like put it by the bedside for her, so she can at least communicate with us.
16 on history, John.
For what were you?
A temple.
There was a temple of kobolds somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
We're in it.
You don't you don't know the specifics or remember the specifics of what was over in that area, but there was a kind of a chunk to the south that was used for lesser known or maybe more not like citywide accepted deities for worship. Some temples, some smaller ones that are a little bit tucked away, maybe don't get the attention, so they've been sequestered to just a smaller, quieter neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
If it was going to be somewhere, that would be where. But nothing specific. No, like it's this god, it's this god, it's the one of this god. It's more just like that's the leftover section. the bargain bin.
Yeah.
To put it a little bit unfairly towards those deities, it's kind of the bargain bin section of the temples. They're small, they're quaint, but if there was anything specific to a random person, that might be that way.
I will, off to the side, draw a little, roughly drawn map section and hand it to Feder and say, somebody downstairs who has been here within the last handful of years might be a little bit more adept to point out where the temple might be.
Okay.
But if it's somewhere, it might be somewhere there.
Gotcha. Do you want us to go and bring someone back?
I think I'll be fine.
You'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
But for her?
It might be better to take her.
Okay. Is she safe out there without us?
I mean, I think you guys should take her.
Okay.
Maybe
I'm
we
just-
should
I'm
find
just-
out if it's even a thing before we take her out into public. I can go check that out.
Yeah, Yewsiff, if you want to go see what the deal is there, and I'm gonna. Well, she's napped out. I was gonna say I could give you 2 a minute, but our dear friend downstairs, Eloy, gave me a weird look, so she's coming up with food and stuff. But I just want to make sure that we're not gonna, if we're gonna rest here for a minute, that it's no one's gonna come kicking the door in. So I'll go. I'll just kind of look around and go, yeah, okay. So I'll be, Yewsiff, here you go. And I'm going to go downstairs. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay, and you make your way out to the kind of the main area. And Docile is moving around. She is busybodying herself with the cleaning of the place. She passes you as she goes down the hallway and just checks to make sure that anyone needs their rooms cleaned. Doesn't seem to give you a second glance, but she does stiffen a little bit as she moves past you. But Eloy is out there prepping the station for the next mealtime of just complimentary food and looks a little annoyed that she's doing this yet again.
Sure.
And then
Short
she eventually notices you. Oh, yeah, hi. Come here, if you can.
Sure.
I'm good in terms of telling anyone. She looks around again. I'm good in terms of not telling anyone that you guys are here. In fact, I don't even know who you guys are. But Docile is a bit of a nosy busybody, and I think it's a matter of time before she may think it's worth revealing that she has hot guests. You guys kind of look like crap, no offense, coming in. So shit probably went down.
Right.
She'll probably get wise to that and try to get something out of it. That's just her nature. She's nice, and then until she's not. Or
Kobold, hush.
Or she's nice even as she stabs you, right? I didn't say anything to you. So just keep an eye out. Be careful. And if you can, don't stay long.
Yeah, I don't think we'll stay longer than possibly the night.
Okay.
We just gotta. But yeah, if you get wind that anything's happening, you come find me immediately. Okay.
Okay, I'll try to keep my sister busy.
Great.
She likes that stuff, so maybe we can distract her.
Sure.
But-
While I'm here, I'm gonna grab some food and drink. Take it back up.
Oh, good. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I rolled 3 d10 for my short rest heal up, and I rolled 3 fucking 2s.
Wow. Wow.
Bullshit.
So Feder left. Did you leave?
Not yet.
Okay.
Feder, you're leaving and then coming back, or are you leaving? Is the conversation bringing you back to the room, or?
I'm gonna. Yeah. Once I'm done with that conversation, I'm gonna at
Okay.
least go back up and drop food and drink off.
Okay.
I just wanted to make sure that like it wasn't like immediate like shit's happening like right now.
Gotcha. You sense from that conversation that's just like, be careful, because you've got
Yeah.
a nosy elf who is.
But
a
if it was
busybody.
like it was more like there's already stuff happening, then like I was like, well, then we're just gonna get the fuck out of here. If it's like she's a nosy broad that, I mean, she already hates her sister, right? So if it's just that like she's nosy and I don't trust her, then I'll gamble on that, you know?
Yeah, for sure. And that's seems to be for now a legit gamble, like a decent odds on that.
Great.
It's still early enough in terms of things happening. Or people haven't stopped to say like, hey, wait a minute. Once that turns, that'll probably cascade in your experience.
Yeah.
And then Yewsiff, you heading out to go do that now, or are you waiting? What is your move? Because Feder has just left. He's going to deal with the sisters in their own way.
So, is there nothing else I can do for you?
Nope. I'm good.
All right. Well, I will go see what the situation with the temple is then. And he'll leave.
If I pass him in the hallway,
Yeah, and you do.
Yeah,
As
I'll
you're
just
starting to
say-
come back, he's heading out.
yeah, I was like, I hand him, a dinner roll, and and a mead, and I'm just like, hey, I'm gonna, I'll drop this off in the room, and then I'll come with you. All right, I'm gonna give those two a second to
Okay.
figure their business out.
Yeah. I'll wait at the bar.
Okay. I'll kick the I'll kick the door in.
Here's your biscuit.
Oh no, Kool-Aid.
Oh,
No, I'll open the door quietly because I know that Esvel's sleeping, and I was like, food and drink. I'll go with Pooh Bear and make sure he's all right. Is that all right? I figured I'd give you guys a minute.
Yeah, that's fine. Thanks.
Is there? And then like squishy boyfriend Feder. I'm just like, but seriously, is there anything you need?
Not right now.
Okay. And then I just kiss her on the cheek real quick, like this.
Oh, my God.
John was like, guys, we're going to try not to make edit points as much in the episodes. And Tony and I are just fully
Deep-throating
filleting
their
these
mics.
microphones.
Like Mike in the mouth. I actually like left slobber.
Oh, it's wet. It's moist.
Wet. It's moist. It's moist. There's no such thing as bloopers at the end of the episode now.
Just right in the middle.
We're just
Fat in the middle. All right, here we go.
we're just doing it live now.
Serious rescue, not rescue mission. Serious
Scouting.
scouting mission. All right, cool. So I'll close the door, and then I'm like, fuck. I don't have any fucking tricks. I was like, I wish I could guard the room somehow, but I can't. So,
Yeah, you head off with Yewsiff. You join him again, and then you guys make your way out. But
She has Shenzo. She'll be fine.
yeah, it should be fine.
But before we get to where you guys are going, let's have Taslin's little moment here.
Yeah, so Esvel's still asleep. The second Feder leaves and I know that they're far away enough, I'm gonna pull out the sword of Cass.
Okay.
I'm digging myself into a hole, you guys. So
Whose fault is that?
my pride.
Uh-huh.
That's
Yeah.
absolutely 100%. You have to understand, Taslin is fully and completely like unchecked hedonism, unfortunately.
Daddy.
And we have not gotten into a new dawn, so I haven't made another roll yet. So still wonderfully in the chaotic neutral realm. But yeah, I pull out the sword of Cass.
Yeah.
just to, commune with it, because my wonderful patron, the Raven Queen, is kind of powerless right now. So
Working on it.
yeah, pull it out. Do I hear its sweet dulcet creeper on the phone tones?
You rang?
There's been an incident.
Go on.
I had a building fall on me. My leg is relatively healed, but potentially damaged beyond special repair.
Sounds violent.
Very. Is there anything that you can do, and I can offer you something in return?
There is a moment of just
Sort of cat deep throats his own mic.
if ever a sword could deep throat you.
Do you want me to deep throat
Okay,
you?
so
Sword
but seriously,
swallowing in
like if we're
reverse.
not gonna do the edits, you can't fucking hack away at your ice like that, or I'll
That's
lose
very-
my goddamn
that's
mind.
very true.
You're just making work for John. You're making so much work for John.
Says
that-
the person licking his microphone.
Yeah, but that's
right,
like
but
a
that's
quick,
different.
tiny
and
moment.
I love you, but I do agree about the ice because it bugs the shit out of me.
it just like,
At least he took the lid off, and we didn't have to hear the. Yeah.
oh my god,
Yeah.
professional voice actor.
Extraordinaire.
Oh my
There
God.
is a long amount of breathing in that manner that I just did with no interruption in between it. And and finally you hear the voice. Give me a life. I'll see what I can do.
You want a life for a leg wound?
I crave violence. Inflation is up.
I was like, wow, he just ate 3 chromatic vipers like not that long ago, and he's already a hungry boy.
He's giving you a steep one.
John,
I'm not. Go ahead.
I know that this area in particular tends to have, that facade of being well kept and everything like that.
Yeah.
But is there any possibility at all that there is a rat somewhere in the vicinity?
Oh, we're going vampire rules.
Did not specify.
It's like 8 rats. Yeah, I like it though. Listen,
You'd have to do an investigation
The devil in
check.
me.
Okay.
Because when you guys first entered, and the first time you entered, you know that Docile is very busybody-ish. So it could be hard, but it also could be
Dirty 20.
dirty 20.
Mm-hmm.
It would take wandering around, but I think you do find some in a storage section, just a forgotten storage section of this place. Maybe she hasn't gotten to it, or she's been distracted, or that was maybe Eloy's job, or something. You can infer many things, but there is one room, one area that just has a couple just chilling.
I've just hobbled my way along the walls using Cass as like a cane, right? Talking sweet nothings, being like, I'm getting you a life, don't worry. And get into this spot and sacrifice a rat. Yeah.
There is a disappointed but understanding breathe.
Not specify.
That's on me. Sorry.
Some devious fuckers. The whole lot of us.
That's on me. Fine. Is there more than one? And there are more than one.
I go to it's like it's like London Ripper style.
No, it's like fucking
the rats.
It's Fighters Guild intro quests from fucking Elder Scrolls. Killing rats in a basement.
You turn the corner and there's like a whole rat king that's just like,
Oh,
oh
God.
fuck.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's
Billy.
It's the conclusion to the Nutcracker. Sweet. Just Taslim comes in and stabs them all.
Love it. Fuck that guy.
So yeah, you take him out, and then You hear, I'll see what I can do. You sense there'll be a little bit of time.
Okay. I will hobble my way back to the room with Cass, of course, sheathed.
Okay. And you make it back in, and as well as sitting up, but kind of just sitting up and leaning back as if she woke up, kind of adjusted herself to look around, and then just kind of leaned her head back and started to doze again.
I will go sit on the bed next to her.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, kind of put my arm around her and essentially motion that she can, like, fall over and put her head in my lap if she wants.
And she does. It takes her a second. It's a bit saddening, but when you first reach out and that's the brush against her, there's a kind of a startle.
Mm-hmm.
And then she does. Is very receptive, and then takes you up on your offer. And eventually is just breathing heavy again.
Yeah, I'm just running my hand through her hair.
And then, if that's all, then we'll move to our fellas as they travel. Do a, I guess, survival check.
Shit. I forgot all of my fantasy boyfriend skills because what I would have done. Oh, can we, John? Hey, John. Hi, hey, John.
Can we rewind?
Can we just-
Are we
Rewind.
retconning already?
No, so it's just a quick one.
Yeah.
So drops off the food and drink, and
Uh-huh.
also leans the prestidigimendicane against the wall, and just kind of
okay.
looks at it and says, "Until you're feeling better," and then shuts the door.
There you go.
There you go. Okay, so sorry, I was thinking like I'm walking outside with my little cane, and I was like, oh shit. So anyway,
All right.
collar throws the collar up, immediately like rolls and lights a cigarette, and has just been like, oh Jesus Christ.
Yewsiff is going to throw his cloak around him to just kind of
Okay.
hide the
And the survival check is just to make good on the directions given to you.
23.
23? All right, you're fine. It'll take you a few minutes to get down there. Just mainly because it's a maze. When you get further south, as things start to head towards like sprawl and get beyond the walls, things just stop being so rigid in terms of city streets and planning and all that. So it takes you a little bit. So you have brief conversation time before we reach the. There's like a line. There'll be a line of shrines and smaller places of worship coming up. But you have a moment. Otherwise, you'll reach there. Do you walk it in silence or?
Listen, I'm not great at this stuff, so after you.
right.
I was like, do I need to like wait outside or
I don't think so.
wear a hat? Like, I don't know what the rules are. Am I good?
I mean, I think you're fine. It's
All right.
not a. I'm not actually expecting to find a temple. I mean, like when we were in Trost, it was.
Well, sure, trust is trust. So I take like 2 heavy drags of my cigarette and then flick the butt out into the street, and I'm like, all right, well,
How
After you.
are you? Are you okay?
whatever. I mean, here's the thing, right? Like, this is Taz's hometown, and that comes with a lot of weight. And I've been happy to kind of let her play this out, but I'm ready to like murder that fucking wizarding bastard and
Again.
yeah, set this city up however we need to, and then get the fuck out of here. So it's just been like cavalcading bullshit since we got here, which we knew, but it's getting a little tiresome, you know. And I'm worried about my mom. You know, they're on the fucking far end of the world, and we're here. And you know, the gnomes are sorted, and if we can figure out some shit, I'd love to wrap as much of this up as we can and get back to the Fallhold, figure out what the fuck's going on there, and then get the fuck out. But, you know, all in its time. I think it's a mistake to not see the chaos that we've sown into the city out. At least make sure we leave it better than we found it. I don't know. Who am I? Whatever. But yeah, I'm good. That's just me, I guess. You have no clue. I mean, I know that we've seen like the fairly pleasant side of the family so far, but shit can get real bad with us. And when it gets bad, it gets bad. And when I say, in all seriousness, when I say, like, when Fee loses her interest or temper, things get weird. They get weird. So we need to figure that out before this whole town ends up on fire. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's be quick about this, I guess, and then figure out what we're doing next.
Okay. So you make your way forward into this row, this mostly empty street. I wasn't kidding when I said it was kind of a leftovers in terms of religious iconography, temples, small mausoleums, shrines, mini cemeteries, things like that. A lot of it's there. It's just not been used. But the thing that stands out to you is a mostly dry fountain in the middle of all of it. If you think of the area that you're in as more of a cul-de-sac, there's like the fountain in the middle, and it's mostly dried, grown over, but there's still some life there. And then surrounding it are different temples. And the iconography you recognize from various deities of different like domains, different like light, death. Like there's a whole bunch of them that don't nearly interest you nearly as much. You'd recognize some of them, but they're not important in the grand scheme of things, in your narrative.
So the fountain in the middle, I'm guessing, isn't dedicated to Eldath. It's just a fountain.
That's the first thing you think, but then you notice how, like, even though it is mostly abandoned, there is still some trickle of water coming out of it, and everything seems to drape on it. You know, sometimes when things are grown over, it's more of just like kind of glommed onto it, but this is all like draped. Something that is suddenly clicking for you in terms of iconography for Eldath. Maybe she doesn't have reliefs on stone walls that are flowing rivers, but more like
this is
a tableau that you say, well, that can't be an accident, can it?
Yeah.
You sense that maybe there's something there. And it definitely is more interesting to your sensibilities and to this oath you took than, let's say, Mausoleum A or Temple B or Shrine C, that just random near forgotten deity. Just this one in the middle seems to call to you.
Okay.
Get your butt over here and let's commune.
So, I'm going to burn one of my 3rd level spell slots, and I'm going to cast Create Food and Water, and I'm going to put 30 gallons of water into the fountain.
Okay.
I don't know if it's like a recycling fountain or if it's fed from something, but I'm going to fill the pool up.
Okay.
Just a bit more. And
it's hard to say. Just after doing it, the water fills up, and you can't tell if there's any sort of cycling through. It may not even be. It may just end up being stagnant water. But there is a little bit of receiving, and it's a weird way to put it, a bit abstract, that it seems useful to the fountain. Or at least that's what's going around in your brain. This was a useful gesture.
So
which is a bit.
You said there was like a trickle of water coming out of it. I'm curious, like if it runs on itself, if like the stream picks up coming out of the fountain that way, or if it's just filling the pool. Either way, I'm just not.
Inexplicably, it doesn't seem to change the trickle.
Okay.
Which gives you a sense that it's not adding up, so it is adding up, I guess, for lack of a better way to put it.
Okay.
It seems a bit out of the ordinary. Because normally, with a fountain like that, yes, filling it up would help get it cycling again, but...
Okay. I'm guessing since this is... So, like, there's not really a caretaker of this area. It's just kind of like an area in the city that people, like... It's just like shrines that you can just come by and like leave offerings, like candles, that type of thing.
Yeah, it looks a little bit more left alone, and especially given that it's like 9, 10-ish. It's getting later in the evening or coming towards the end of the day. If there were any particular caretaker, they would have gone home.
Okay.
So there's not a lot of interest in this area right now. So yeah, it is just you and this fountain, and most other places seem to have a little bit of a slight layer of the day's dust. So maybe... You have people here who aren't very attentive when they are here.
Okay.
In most circumstances, this would be a sad picture, but if you maybe even mentally take a step back to when you first arrived, there is an ancient feel to this. Almost maybe this was the point of the fountain being here, is that this is an old place and maybe forgotten place. but a no less loved place.
He's going to lean over the fountain and put like an open palm down inside the bottom of the fountain and just kind of close his eyes and concentrate on the water.
Okay.
And trying to feel the current, if you will, of
Interesting.
like the flow of this stagnant pool, to see if there is any flow at all, and concentrate on that and use that to try and focus on Eldath and the task at hand, so to speak.
Sure. If there's one thing maybe this moment will teach you, is patience, because it takes a long time for you to notice anything. Even to the stretches of, is this just a useless gesture? Like, it's pushing the limits of what you would be willing to wait for, and once it reaches that, your hand notices a slight current, a draft of cold water moving along, as if it was a current. Suddenly it starts to pick up a little bit. Like the water was stagnant, not very cold. It's just whatever you produce it. It's lukewarm.
Mm-hmm.
But now there's a undercurrent that's cold, kind of pulling your hand a little bit, but not too much, like a gentle nudge. And even with your eyes closed, your sense of self, you aren't physically transported, but you do, through your closed eyes, see now a tree, like your hand is in a river. You're on the bank of a river now. And it's a cold river. There's snow around. You are aware of, even though you're not really looking, you're aware of trees that have frosted over with ice and snow and winter. And the water itself is cold because of the cold temperature. Your breath, you feel your breathing is cold. The breath coming to your lungs is chilled. But there is also warmth beside. You feel a presence with you that you can only guess to be Eldath. And a soft whisper, "It's been quite a while." You hear in your mind, and it fills you with warmth as she talks. But then once the absence of this inner voice, it comes cold again.
Like, he opens his eyes just for a second to gain his surroundings, realizing that he is on this riverbed, and then he closes them again.
Mm-hmm.
So he doesn't concentrate on where he is, more of the task at hand. And
there's an element of concentration here in that when you open your eyes, you could still kind of see it, but there was a falter in concentration, so you could see it slipping. So then, closing your eyes brought it back, almost clearer than if you've ever seen.
okay.
So now you're in this kind of meditative, you're seeing this through your closed eyes and through your mind, that you are, it's almost like a blanket draped over you as someone is whispering to you as you're feeling cold water. But yeah, you have been communicated with.
He'll just say, "There is someone in need that has been maimed, and I do not have the power to cure it. I was hoping to find someone here who could, but it doesn't seem that is going to happen. So I was looking for guidance or direction to maybe find someone who could help us."
There is a sigh, and it's a softer, contemplative, almost sad sigh. Not a disappointed in you for killing rats with a sword sigh, but more of, yeah, I get it. And you hear just softly, "There aren't many who follow the river's path. And that's okay. That is not what I look for or what I need. I'm there for those who care. I can help in some ways, or at least point you in the direction of someone who can. My presence is diminished here and wherever this is, wherever you are. And I'm sure you've noticed the cold in the water. Ice seems to come for you, but that is a later matter. But it has stayed. You've done something." There's a probing, of your memory, and do you allow it or do you fight it?
No, I'll allow it.
The encounter with the Hand of Cania, as such that you've faced, the slaying of Barnack, it's all absorbed into her memory. Ah, yes. Arcania. I trust that this is not over, but for now, you have reprieve. In the meantime, to help your friend, whether they appreciate it or not, look to a lonely cleric along the way, in the turn of the day, in the turn of the morning, dawn. Find the lonely cleric wandering the streets, missing her purpose. She could use purpose. You understand that she's suggesting that this person might have some healing ability, might have some utility, physical utility that could help your friend if you find them. Mechanically speaking, it would cause you a little bit of lack. Like, you'd be hard pressed for your long rest with it. Probably like 3, 4-ish in the morning sort of situation. Like turn to where the turn of the around the dead hour.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. I'll see if I can find them.
Be at peace. Remember your oath. I will keep watch for you. And the warmth leaves. The warmth leaves first, followed by the cold. And eventually you're aware that your hand is in stagnant, created magical water that you created, but it's stagnant. And there is some, like, you're feeling the stone of the fountain underneath. The sliminess of it from being grown over and messy and all that. You're becoming aware of just the sad surroundings that you find yourself in this area. That becomes more real again to you. And you break from your reverie.
Kind of opens his eyes and comes to and...
You there, bud?
Yeah. Kind of shakes his hand off and kind of like takes the excess water and just kind of runs it through his hair to dry his hands, and might have a lead on someone that can help us. We'll
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go walk about in the early morning and see if I can stumble upon a lonely cleric, it seems.
Right.
That's all I got. I don't have any other information.
Sure.
It's something.
Well, we've got a laundry list of places we need to revisit. Hopefully our scouts are back with Talentha in here fairly soon. And we got to get to Hoos just to see what's going on there. John, for my own knowledge, Beauteous Few territory is like mid-city, right? Like...
Yeah, mid, north, east. Yeah.
Kind of northeast. Like the Mortberg is what, north of us, right?
Mortberg was about southeast.
Oh, it was southeast?
So you're kind of roughly similarly south. You just would be going east.
And Hoos is on the east side of the city, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're
kind of east mid. Kind of east mid. Yeah.
And sorry, and the circus, or not, what is it? I always forget because I still want to call it the Opalism Menagerie. I did this last time. The joke was the joke was that they
Carnival Mysterium.
Oh, the Carnival Mysterium. I was like, the joke was that they needed more rides, and I kept wanting to call it a fair, but I know it's not a fair. My country ass. Yes, the carnival. The carnival's the leak or whatever. The swamp is what, southwest. I'm just trying to reorient myself to the map.
Yeah.
Okay. Shit. So we're closer to Hoos, right? Than going back.
Closer to Hoos than going back, yeah.
All right.
I'm just double checking to make sure I haven't led you astray, but I think we're.
Oh, you're gonna do that? You're gonna go meet Daddy Dearest with?
I guess. Look, I'm trying to. There's a ticket. There are several.
Before I'm with you.
Ticking time bombs. No, I'm not gonna. No, I'm not gonna do that. No, I'm just saying, like, in a broad sense. I'm gonna come back and get you guys, and then try to figure out if. I mean, I guess we'll bed down at the end for the night.
What time is it now, John?
It's about, as you're leaving, it's about just 11-ish.
Okay. So I'm going to, John, leverage my my ability to find criminals and ne'er-do-wells from my criminal background on the way back and try to find someone in, like, the thieves' can of it. Like, I know that We're in Beauteous Few territory, but I feel like there will be scouts or people either unaffiliated or from one of the other, I mean, obviously I would look for any of our folk, but I don't imagine the drow. I'm sure the drow have closed ranks right now, but
Yeah. But anybody else?
anyone else, like, involved in the gang stuff, like not a friend of the Beauteous Few, who's either passing through or trying to make it look like they're passing through. So I'll just throw out some, as I'm walking, I'll just like toss out some thieves' cant, like with my hands, and just see if anybody approaches me.
Sure. And you guys make your way kind of directly, like, so to be seen a little bit more? So as you're doing those cants, you'd want to be seen a little bit more?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not doing the like circuitous walking through town. I'll essentially walk in a straight line back to.
Sure. That helps, definitely. As you're making your way back, you do happen to walk by a few people who are... You'll see every now and then a random person leaning against the frame of a door or a wall or an alley and just looking around. But there's one in particular who does flit their eyes towards your cant that you're making as you're walking, and they kind of nod at you and take a following stance, but back, a respectful distance. You would recognize this as... I'm not here to do harm. I'm just here because you have signaled something,
Right?
And I want to see what's up. But
Right.
this is double distance. You're not being trailed
Sure.
aggressively. You're being trailed casually.
I'll pull into like a dark, like an alley or under an awning or just someplace inconspicuous.
Sure.
Do you give me a nod when you do that? Okay, I'll keep walking and post up on like a corner of the block or something and wait.
Okay. You take
And-
maybe
As I kind of go in there, I'll pull out a scrap of paper and essentially write just like a note to Talonthane, essentially, that just instructing him to send the scouts that are coming back to him with any news to Hoos.
to Hughes. Okay.
Yeah, and get him and like to this address, and then put the address of Hoos, and we'll fold it up, and let's see. Do I have? No, I won't go. I'm sure I have a forgery kit, but I don't think I have time to like press it and seal it. And
Right. You wouldn't have enough time because the person does reach you fairly quick.
Yeah.
And they're just a general human. I say general human. Fairly nondescript by your standards. Just dark hair, lighter complexion, bit dirty, but got a look about them that they get things done.
Yeah.
And they don't have to say too much. They nod at you and indeed.
And I'll say, what gang runs this part of town? And I'll do an insight check on their answer.
You're asking if they know who runs the area.
I want to say what gang runs this side of town and see what they respond.
There's a bit of a slight sneer that you catch. Insight check. Let's see.
Who run Border Town?
Nat 20, John's 31.
Oh, nice. You know his whole story. He sneers a bit. This is Beauteous Few territory. We're just here collecting the scraps, if you will.
Sure. Well,
Not really organized, but freelance, but I get it done.
I am going to toss him 2 gold coins.
Okay.
And I'm going to be like, I need you to get this note to the Carnival Mysterium.
Oh, fancy. Okay.
If you open it, I'll ruin your house for 5 generations.
He laughs, and a slightly nervous edge to it, as if those types of threats have been made.
I'll do like thaumaturgy and make my eyes just flare.
Okay. He takes a sharp intake of breath. Okay. Oh, well, consider my curiosity gone. This piece of paper will make it there. Do I need to give a code word to not be shot on sight by the drow?
Tell him that Feder sent you.
Okay. Consider it done. He seemed he didn't have any questions.
Quicker the better.
Fair. And then he's gone. He just leans back or rotates because you're in an alley. You're just turned in on the alley. So he leans back on the curve of the wall and just kind of like falls back out and weaves back into the world and makes his way.
All right. And then we'll head back to the inn.
Cool. You make your way back to the inn. to see how everyone is doing, and that's where we'll stop this episode.
Bum, bum, bum.
Bum, bum, bum.
It's been a while since we heard from Yewsiff's goddess, and as with all goddesses, there seems to be some kind of riddle or omen involved. Thankfully, this one is pretty straightforward. Okay, I think this is a good place for me to take a break. Don't worry.
We're not worried.
Aren't you sweet? I'll be back before you can say, blessed bullywug. Blessed bullywug. Wow, what a crowd. Anyway, I will be back before you know it and tell you more. All about these demon days.
Oh, come on, you're giving me like flashbacks to Yellow Jackets now.
Richard, what's happening?
Moist.
I actually really love that word.
Moist.
Moist?
Too.
So many people hate the word, but I'm like, it's wonderful. It's a wonderful word.
Moist.
I'll give you back mic 4.
Moist.
Moist?
Did you know that moist is actually one of the most hated words?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They hate it. They can't
Hate him on
stand
the
it.
Cunt.
I think only 30% of the population doesn't hate the word moist.
You've never just like
Getting closer to that 1% every day.
put a brownie in your mouth and go,
So moist. This cake is moist.
moist.
God, I hope you're rolling right now.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Oh, that is
Dirty.
moist.
That's just going to be the opening for one of
Yeah,
the
get them
episodes. I was
outtakes.
just
Oh my God, we
saying
have to.
moist.
We just have to. The biggest trigger warning on. You're gonna either love this,
You're going to love
hate
this
it.
or hate
you're
it.
going to
And according
this.
to our warlock, you are either part of a 30% or a 70%.
We're entering a new phase. You're either going to love this next set of episodes or you're going to hate them.
These days are
Welcome back, viewers.
moist.
Okay, so let's see.
I love that I look over and there's just a roughly drawn giant peen.
Listen,
Johnny's
do I draw various combinations of real and mythological
It's
genitalia
amazing. It's
in my
amazing.
notes?
What? Okay, so is this another like peen, or is
Well,
that is
no,
that
it's
like
a
a
very
roughly drawn
long-
hand? Is
No,
there
it's
like
a
a
very
hand gearing
long-
up?
A hand. I heard, is that just John Ham? When you first said it, and I was
Long,
like, I mean, it's possible.
It's a very long, like T-dick.
Is this a
Trying to
two-hander?
get
Is this a
trans
two-handed?
mask representation.
Okay.
in,
I can. Oh, I see it. Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
a very
the
long
labia,
hood.
The labia,
Yeah.
and there's a little bit of an engorged,
Jesus Christ.
clit.
Yeah, see, look,
making,
there's
like,
a
little
whole,
mini
there's a
penis.
thing
Love
here.
It.
Look at,
I
there's
love it.
drips there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's just like a weird clown guy. That's not weird. Oh yeah, see, there's that. That I just put. I decided like to make a monster that were just if you put all the genitals
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
And what I love is that like the vulva is like a
The
bishop's
head.
hat.
Yeah.
With boob eyes
it's called
and
a
a dick
miter,
nose.
John. It's called a
It
miter,
isn't my.
Johnny.
Listen, I was evangelical.
I know you know what it is.
I don't give a
I'm just-
shit about the fashion. It was all fucking khakis and polo shirts
God, those
where
were
I
the
went to
days.
church.
Hello, fellow youth.
Corduroys, corduroys and polo shirts for me, but that was just the uniform at Interlaken.
Oh yeah, like listen, if
Shit got
mood
dark
lighting.
and moody.
Listen, if you're a deconstructed pansexual, then you mark one little box on the old Demon Days bingo card. I know there's at least 2 or 3 of you out there.
Oh my God! So
I just have such an intense image of deconstructed pansexual.
Is it me? Is that
Is
the
it
image?
me?
No,
you're looking
I'm totally
for?
thinking of, when you like how gourmet it is to have like a deconstructed sandwich.
Oh, sure.
God, you know
Yeah.
what?
But
Are we back to eating people?
We should.
We just jumped back 30
absolutely-
episodes to eating people.
We should absolutely
I've just been
make.
watching Yellow Jackets, guys. Come on.
We should absolutely make some Demon Days downloadable bingo cards.
Or like a BuzzFeed quiz. Yeah.
Okay.
Are you a fetter?
Are you a fetter?
The trick is everyone's a fetter.
Are you a Yewsiff? Are
That's
you
sadly more of a Johnny than a fetter, but they're half
Are you
the
not
same.
here? Go ahead and check Lisa off the board.
Oh.
Oh, that was. Yeah, I'm.
I'm sad.
Lisa.
Yeah, she's gonna make a comeback in this episode.
Wow.
As we're teasing it.
We'll take gaslighting for 1,000.
We're gonna just
There's
keep-
no gaslighting. There is absolute truth.
What?
I love it. John. Yes, and dude, you're the DM. When two of your players look up and go, "What?"
Are razzing another player.
Then you look at Tony and go, "Yes."
Yeah. No, she's going to be stepping in here in about 20 minutes.
I'm more talking about all the secrets that you told Lisa and no one else.
Sam, come in the door.
Yeah.
Secrets.
Hear that bleep, beep, beep, bleep, 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 bleep. Oh, there we go. Hello, you
Ciao.
motherfuckers.
Yeah, quick story about being on set with Johnny.
What?
We were working on
Is this something I can keep recording?
Yes,
no,
you can.
absolutely.
This is 100% you
This is
can.
not covered by an NDA.
yeah, no, we were on this movie called The Wedding Year.
Available on Netflix right now, I
Oh, I
believe.
love that movie.
You've seen it?
Yeah.
Tyler
Oh,
James
nice.
Williams, star of Abbott Elementary.
And God, what was I'm blanking on the blonde lead's name. She was in Pitch Perfect. The bride.
Oh yeah, I forget. I'm
I
a
can't
bad
think of her
AD.
name either, but I know what you're talking about.
Well, anyway, I was there for a couple of days as a super secret PA because I was there as helping out with background
In them SAG days.
in them SAG days. And all of a sudden, one of the PAs that I knew handed me a bingo card, a Johnny Wrecker bingo card, which just made my soul sing. But it had things on like gang. Is there a
Gang.
world where
Gang is a wonderful gender neutral pronoun.
it is? I
I'll give
use it
that
all
to
the
you.
time. I stole it as
Gang?
soon as I met you. But gang was on there. Is there a world where ...
Which is a very me attempting to not be offensive when I ask for something. ...
is a great American. That was one of them.
We're taking it back, gang. 2024, fuckers.
Yeah.
we're gonna re-embrace all of our American patriotism without any of the toxic bullshit. We're doing it.
But it just brought me so much joy. So I think we should absolutely.
And they were
make some
playing,
bingo
and no one
cards.
told me. You
Yeah,
guys were
yeah.
playing, and
No,
then all
it
of a
was
sudden
great.
someone came on the walkie and was like,
Bingo!
And I was like, what?
It was,
And then someone walked up to me as if I was the old lady giving out prizes.
Look, I won your bingo.
And they're
Give
like,
me a
I
prize.
want Johnny Wrecker bingo. And I
he was like, "What the
I was
fuck?"
okay. I was incensed.
Wait, was it a full
It was
blackout
a
bingo?
full. No, it wasn't
No,
blackout.
it was-
they,
it was
they
just
classic
a line.
bingo rules. I was incensed for like 1 second. I was mortified and shamed and embarrassed,
and then
I
immediately elated and endeared.
elated. It
Yeah.
was the most charming. So here's the thing: if you have a boss like any of the cast of Office Space who just speaks in fucking bullshit all the time, just make a bingo card. They'll either love it or hate it. Roll those dice.
I know I'm going to derail this for just a little bit longer, but I need to hear, what was it, the Jennifer Aniston or Jennifer, who had the imitation of you, had the Johnny Wrecker?
Jennifer Garner.
Garner,
Charleston's own
there we
Jennifer
go.
Garner.
Yeah.
Apparently ran into another AD on another show and said, my friend Johnny Wrecker worked with you on Peppermint. And she's a delight, by the way. And she's like, oh, Johnny, oh my God, he's the best. And then like broke into an imitation of me that apparently I've never heard. I wish I could hear, but apparently was spot on. And what a delight. You should get her to come play D&D. She wouldn't come play D&D. But she might.
We should call
Wholesome as shit.
I recently
We should call
saw
Bree
her.
because Bree
Bree would play. Bree probably would
Bree
play.
said she wanted to play when we talked about
Way back
starting a
on
game in
Unicorn
during
Store.
Unicorn
Yeah.
2016. I'm sure she remembers.
Bree
Nothing
would-
has
Bree would
happened to
probably
Brie
play.
Larson. since from 2016 to now. I'm sure she's around.
I saw I think it was like maybe it was some recording of Jennifer Garner going through her purse.
Amazing.
Being like, what's in my purse? And it was like
50%
snack.
full of nuts.
Yeah, it was like like little snack after snack after snack. And then at one point she pulled out a book that she was reading with one of her kids. And then she also pulled out like a glasses case that was double-sided, and she's like, if you're over a certain age, you know what this means. Like you get it, you understand. And it just
Jen, I'm right behind you. I'm coming for you.
It just made me crack up.
On the way to bifocal lens.
Well, I mean, because like I already do it. I have a case that I put my glasses and my sunglasses in, just facing away. And the second she pulled out like the double-sided, I was like, that is a lifesaver.
It's a good time.
Yeah.
Welcome to Demon Tay's Entertainment Minute.
John, so I just want to note how dangerous the fact that we have these like hoods on the mic now is, because like I appreciate not having the pop filter because it was always in the way, but it's so like the fact that I can put my mouth so fucking close to the mic.
No, do that.
No, because here's the thing. Like I'm fine putting my mouth like right on the mic. Like I absolutely am, but the urge to eat it.
Okay, stifle that.
Just
mouth open on the tip. That's fine. Stifle the eating urge. For the love of God.
There might be moments when we're recording, and I swear there's going to be an intense moment between and you're just going to hear me go. Just.
My
That's
God.
gonna sound great. You're gonna do that, and then I'll be editing it later and be like, wait,
was
what?
that noise?
The only reason why I don't have the urge to lick it like a lollipop is because of the sensation of it on my tongue.
It's not great.
Yeah, it's not great. So instead, I just
I don't hate it.
I just want to.
Yep.
Oh my God!
What? I'm getting a pencil. Y'all are talking about licking tips and shit.
Give.
15 minutes of gold right here.
I don't need a pencil. Thank you.
Purple one for you.
Thank you.
Anybody else need a pencil while I'm at it? You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna take an orange one too. It's gonna match my mic tip.
Nice.
I don't have any gray ones. Do you have a
I'm
pencil?
fine.
Fine. Whatever. I want to help anyway.
I got a Pilot G2, baby. I'm ready.
Ooh.
We heard that.
That's nasty. Fuck, I don't have a...
It's probably on the floor still in the living room because it fell out.
That's where that one went.
Yep. So you're not going to get up. You're just going to
No, it is
with a
much
different-
easier just to replace the
Got it.
pencil where I'm at right here. Because this one has one. It's orange. It's fine.
He's turning down a hero's journey.
No, you're right. I'm turning down not getting out of this chair until I have to because I'm fucking landlocked again. Buying cables and dread. All right.
Excuse you. Actually,
Oh,
no.
boy.
I can identify with being dread. That's
Yeah.
okay. Acceptable.